Monday's here and the weekend's almost over. I feel a heavy despair. Tomorrow's Monday and I have to go to work. How I wish it was Saturday. 5 more days to make Saturday.
Jane, thank you for doing this interview.
Certainly.
My first question is, do you remember meeting Dafni? Do you remember your first kind of
Oh, I
interactions?
remember when she was a graduate student and you were a postdoc.
Uh-huh.
And I think you probably came together to the NMR lab. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Did your NMR training and stuff. I would see her in the lab after that.
Mm-hmm.
She was very friendly, and I liked talking to the students, so especially the friendly ones. That was one of the better parts of the job, was to meet lots of students.
Uh-huh. And, well, tell me about how Dafni ended up working for you. Do you remember? That's quite a convoluted story, I think.
Well, not that
With
convoluted,
the
I
mic
guess,
and
but she had been doing, at that point, she was doing a postdoc
Yeah.
on campus, and she was pretty unhappy with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I knew she was thinking of leaving science altogether. She was looking for jobs in like clothing stores and things. And about that time was when we were forming the Molecular Instrumentation Center. And I had told them that, a requirement as far as I was concerned was I needed some administrative help. And I thought, what could be finer in the way of administrative help than someone who knows what they're doing, who's a chemist, because all our clientele, as it were, are chemists. And I thought that would be perfect. And I hate to see somebody just leave science with that much training. And so, fortunately, I was able to actually create this position about the time she was ready to leave that postdoc. So, she was probably the first person I hired in the Molecular Instrumentation Center, which I was very happy about.
Uh-huh.
And she was very helpful with administrative things. She did a lot. We had a lot of people we were interviewing, trying to hire people. And I had we had to charge people for the use of this, and I had written all the programs, and they were forever needing changes for just how we would charge people, because it all depended on their grants and all this sort of stuff. So I figured, this is an administrative person who can learn to program.
All right.
So I gave her a very rudimentary introduction to what needed to be done. And told her, gave her a book about it. I said, you have any questions? I'll be happy to help. And so I helped her quite a lot in the beginning, but it was great to have somebody who knew what we were doing and why we were doing it and such things. And she did a lot of that program. She took a lot of the load off of us.
That's good. I know she was kind of worried when she got the job, because it was she knew nothing about Perl programming or accounting or website design or.
Well, I assured her I didn't know anything about it either when I started doing it, so that was okay.
Yeah, I think when she started the job, she was led into it very easily. She didn't have to do a whole website or something from scratch. Or write a program from scratch or something.
No.
So,
just kind of, we had, I guess, some bare bones stuff I guess graduate students there was a graduate student who had set up some rudimentary website, and so we mostly stuck with the structure of that and just, worked with Max as our IT person in chemistry, but he also was someone who was a chemist, so he knows what it's all about. I'd known him forever, and so he helped us just to make sure we had easy ways for her to change pages and this sort of thing. So it worked fine. I was very happy with it.
I was going to ask you, how was Dafni as an employee?
Oh, she was great. Among other things, I really liked the fact, I also had her do some of the instruction of people when they were first learning to use the NMR spectrometers. And I really liked having her be the first person that they would see, because not everybody doing this sort of thing is kind and patient. And she was, and I think that she made people feel comfortable, and I wanted people to feel comfortable and not intimidated by these huge instruments that we were running. So,
Yeah.
so I thought she was ideally suited for that.
Yeah, she definitely liked helping the students. That was her favorite part of the
Yeah,
job.
well, me too. Unfortunately, I'll have to do obnoxious stuff too, like programming, recharge, and all this kind of stuff. But, and she did some of the routine maintenance. As we were just discussing, one thing we had to do was we had to do these fills of liquid nitrogen into these huge things, and we had to move around these giant tanks. And she was very strong. She was tiny, but strong, and I showed her how to use your entire body weight to get this thing up on the cart. She did it. It was fine.
How long did Dafni work for you in total? Do you
I
know when she began exactly?
I think it was in 2005.
2005.
Yeah, because I remember that she worked for me for 11 years.
I know she got like some little gold UCLA pin in the mail close towards the 10. I think she got a 5-year and a 10-year little golden UCLA brooch pin. She thought
Which
was
I'm
kind
sure
of
she wore everywhere.
No, she thought it was useless. Why are they sending
It
me
is
this
useless,
thing?
yeah. But whatever.
Also, so you were just on the brink of retiring, right, when Dafni passed away.
I was,
It was a
yeah.
kind of a terrible timing.
It was.
Well, of course,
There
terrible
was never
timing
a good time,
to
but
die, but
It
I
was
mean,
a shock.
yeah,
I was retiring at the end of June, so she knew that I was retiring.
yeah,
But she was a little worried as to whether her job would stay there. you
Yeah.
know, and I said, I can't guarantee anything, but I think so. Just recently, I went to a memorial service for a guy who had worked for us. This was Ping Yang. Remember him?
Oh yeah, he passed away.
He passed away recently.
I know he was unwell for a while.
He was very unwell. Dafni was working there. He had a brain aneurysm at home. It didn't happen at work, but so he somewhat recovered. That's where he could walk and talk. But he was fairly disabled afterwards. But when I went to the memorial service, I took along Bob Taylor, who also works in the NMR lab.
Yeah.
And when I retired, they just decided they needed a lot fewer people. There are fewer people working in Molecular Instrumentation Center. So 4 of us left. 3 besides me, counting me and Dafni. There were 2 other people who left.
Oh, it wasn't a very big. Didn't have a lot of people employed in it, right? There's only a handful of people working for the MIC, wasn't it?
Well,
Now
now it's a smaller handful.
It's only like a couple of people.
Yeah,
now,
but
maybe?
anyway, so Bob Taylor told me, well, ever since Dafni and I both left, he's had to do a lot more of, administrative stuff. So he had less time on methods development. He was doing solid state NMR, which is pretty complicated, and going out and kind of showing a lot of our faculty what it could do for them. He said he hasn't had much time to do any of that since we left. But that's not my problem.
Right.
So he really appreciated all the things that Dafni did for us.
I think she didn't really have like any one thing that she was ever. This is her job, It was a lot of things and
Me
working
either.
on the fly.
Yeah, just
Whatever
whatever
needs to be done. Yeah.
That's right.
So she
To tell
couldn't
people
really explain.
my job description was to figure out what needs to be done and how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, because when people would ask her what she does at UCLA, it was always hard for her to
Yeah,
explain it exactly.
it is a little hard. She did and besides that, when you're willing, like Dafni, to do whatever, that's very helpful. I mean, she was a great employee. I loved
Oh,
her.
that's good to hear.
I mean, I loved her as a person.
Yeah, I think
but
you had
I
a really
loved
good.
having her as an employee.
You were like friends more, I
we
think,
were very
right?
good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to many of your house parties where you
Yeah.
would have a musician of
Yeah,
the night would play. Those were great. I
Wow,
loved that.
thank you.
Those
You-
were wonderful.
Leading into my final question, which was about Daphne's music and
About what?
about Daphne's music.
Daphne's music. Well,
I remember she called you the CEO of Strauss Records.
Oh, yes, I was CEO of Strauss Records. That's
Because
right.
kind of, by employing her, you You enabled her to pay for
Right.
making records.
Yeah, and I encouraged her to do it, you know. I think people should have a life outside their job. You know, it's not everybody in academics that believes but I do. And I just thought it was really neat that she did that. And, you know, I love music and I'm not particularly talented at it. So I always admire anyone who has musical talent. You know. She was very talented. She had a beautiful voice and she wrote those songs. I just thought it was great. I loved it.
You came out to see her play at
I went
the cinema
to
bar.
many of them.
the
Yeah,
farmers
I
market
even went
and
to the
stuff?
cinema bar, and you know, I even went when they used to still smoke there. You know, I loved cinema bar because they were very supportive of the musicians.
Yeah.
But I sure liked it better after they went non-smoking. I just anyway. So yeah, I really thought the music was a kind of very nifty thing. I mean, I don't know many people that perform. It's just sort of different.
Yeah. And you were very gracious in allowing Dafni to come in a bit later to work, a little later hours. It wasn't like 9 to 5. She could come in at maybe 11 or so.
We have
Work
really,
late.
you know, not any specific hours. We needed to work a lot. We needed to work like crazy when we were there, but there was no particular time that we had to do very much of anything. I mean, we had certain times that we had training sessions and that sort of thing, but if you were doing that training session, yes, you had to be there by that. But other than that, it really didn't matter. So I was very happy with Dafni as an employee. I thought she was great. I think she was exactly what we needed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it was a good match.
It was a good match,
Yeah.
and I'm
to have someone with a experience of how the department runs, and who was
she'd been
familiar with
around,
the
she knew the
staff and the
Well, you know, the
faculty
other thing
and-
was her degree was in organic chemistry, and mine was in physical chemistry. And, you know, so a lot of what we did was, you know, what the staff did was kind of very instrumentation oriented, but the majority of our clientele were organic chemists. I would hope they knew better about their spectra than I did, because I'm an organic chemist. So it was nice having her available for that sort of consulting. But, you know, I used to go out and ask a lot of graduate students when I needed organic consulting. But I think students went to see her
for like help with
interpreting spectra. I think they did some. And they would certainly be better off learning to her than me.
you,
organic is fairly weak.
I think I've asked all my questions, but maybe just finally, do you have like a lasting memory of Dafni? Or something that comes to mind, a moment you shared?
Oh, you know, the sum total of Dafni was my most lasting memory of her. She was just a wonderful person to have around. And I was so shocked when this happened to her. I think it's the most shocked and bad that I felt of anybody I've ever known who died. She was just too young and too alive for this.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a very vibrant, alive person. She was the most fit person I ever knew. You know, and it just was a huge shock. But
Yeah.
I just think she was just all around a really wonderful person. Thank you, Patrick. It's my distinct honor to present the Dafni Amarasaki's Memorial Fellowship Award. And first, I'd like to point out that her husband, Peter Brink, is with us. He's right back there. Right? Thank you. So this award was established to honor Dafni's life, her music, and her achievements, and really to continue her life's work by providing the opportunity for future graduate students to follow in her footsteps. So those who knew Dafni were really blessed to have had the chance to experience her kind and open nature and unflaggingly cheerful disposition. If you knew her, you know what I'm saying. Now, Dafni studied under Professor Sir Fraser Stoddart and then Professor Miguel Garcia Dardai. She received her PhD from UCLA Chemistry and Biochemistry in 2002. After her degree, she spent 2 years as a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Pharmacology under Professor N. Satyamurthy. And she returned to our department as a staff scientist in the Molecular Instrumentation Center. She was there for 11 years. But Dafni was also an extremely talented musician, and she pursued a parallel career in music as a singer-songwriter, combining folk and jazz and country and pop influences, but it was really a unique Dafni style. And I'm going to mention very briefly, because Kathy will mention it later, that if you would like to, her husband, Peter Blink, had put together a CD of Dafni's musician friends performing songs that Dafni wrote. This was from a performance, what would have been her 44th birthday, a couple of years ago. And it's really quite unique. And if you would like to do a $25 donation to the fund for this fellowship, then Kathy will tell you how. But this is and Peter will have something. So the Amasaki Fellowship Award goes to a graduate student who goes above and beyond all the expectations for the research, teaching, mentoring of undergraduate and graduate students, and also has a great love of music. So the award also recognizes the many wonderful qualities that Dafni had, including kindness and generosity, and determination, and joyfulness, sweetness, and good humor. So this year's award winner is Jeff McCormick.